Happy Father's Day to the fathers.
Feliz Día de los Padres.
I
Relax.
had everything planned, so I got out here, but I don't
Tenía todo planeado para que llegue aquí.
But since the day was Father's Day, usually, like, I don't know, it doesn't really kick into me a lot. I don't know, I think I've said it before, but I grew up without my dad being
Yo
around.
crecí sin mi papá.
And like, I guess it's hard for me to like, you know, to cope with it. My stepdad's always been there, but as I got older, it
Es
feels like I
difícil
need.
para mí lidiar con ello, aunque mi padrastro siempre ha estado ahí.
As I got older, it felt like I needed, you know, my dad around. I guess growing up, I felt
Cuando
lonely.
yo fui un poquito más grande, sentí que necesitaba a mi padre ser cuidado mío.
I felt lonely and all of
Y
that.
me sentí solo.
But then as I got older, I realized I wasn't alone the whole time.
Y mientras más crecí, me di cuenta que no estaba solo.
And I guess it was this burden and this hate that was inside of
Y
me.
había esta carga y este odio dentro de mí.
But it really wasn't hate.
Pero no fue odio.
I guess it was confusion because I didn't really ask that many questions.
Creo que era confusión porque yo no hice muchas preguntas.
But I looked and I got an older sister,
Y yo miré y veo que tengo una hermana mayor.
and that she was there to see them two go separate ways.
Ella pudo ver cuando mis padres se separaron.
Me, I was too young to understand it.
Yo estuve muy pequeño para poder entenderlo.
And I guess it kind of, sometimes I think it's a little bit of jealousy that hits me, and a little bit
Yo a
of
veces
hate.
pienso que es un poco de celos que me da.
Because I look at my sister and I had that question. I'm like, my dad was there for my sister for about 9
Porque yo
years.
tengo esa pregunta. Mi papá estuvo ahí con mi hermana, pero no conmigo.
My dad was around for my sister about 10 years,
Mi
and
papá estuvo con mi hermana cuando ella tenía por lo menos 10 años. Como por 10 años.
I didn't have my dad around for barely 6 months.
Y yo no tuve a mi papá tan siquiera ni por 6 meses.
And but as the years go by, I felt lonely, I guess.
Pero mientras los años continuaron, yo me seguía sintiendo solo.
I had my stepdad there that was there for me when I was little and he grew up raising me.
Tuve a mi padrastro que estuvo conmigo y me ayudó, me crió.
But I never forgot about my father.
Pero yo nunca he olvidado a mi padre.
But like, as now that this year so much has happened to me,
Pero ahora, como han pasado tantas cosas en este año en mi vida,
the last thing I wanted was to at least grow something with my father.
lo último que yo deseaba era tener algún tipo de relación con mi papá.
Earlier this week, my sister talked to my
Y
dad,
esta semana mi hermana habló con mi papá.
and she called him and she said she loved him.
Y ella lo llamó y le dijo que lo amaba.
He took a long pause and he didn't say anything.
Y él pausó y no dijo nada.
And then she looked and she told him and she was like, "You can't say it, can you?"
Y ella le dijo, no puedes decirlo tú, ¿verdad?
And he said no.
Y él dijo, no.
It seemed like she's kind of gave up
Y parece que ella se rindió.
because it's been 17 years and she can't, and them two will still go at it.
Porque ha pasado 17 años y todavía no tienen esta relación.
But then it kind of put a little worry into me
Y entonces me puso esa preocupación a mí,
because I love my dad,
porque yo amo a mi padre,
but I never told my dad that I
pero
love him.
yo nunca le he dicho que lo amo.
And then growing up feeling alone, but then realizing that I wasn't alone.
Y entonces yo crecí pensando que estaba solo, pero me di cuenta que yo no estoy solo.
So the day being Father's Day,
Y hoy siendo el Día de los Padres,
I talked to my dad,
yo hablé con mi papá
and it took me a while took me like a good 2-3 minutes
y me tomó como 2 o 3 minutos
just to say 3 words.
solo para decir 3 palabras.
And I told my dad I love him.
Y yo le dije a mi papá que lo amo.
And I said that me being almost 18,
Y yo le dije, yo estoy a punto de tener 18.
the only thing I can ask for out of him is to be with him.
Lo único que yo puedo pedirle a él es que él esté conmigo.
And then he came back about 2 minutes later and he told me, he was like, "Thank you."
Y 2 minutos después vino y me dijo gracias.
And then he said, "I love you too."
Y me dijo que me amaba.
That's all I have to ask.
Eso es todo lo que yo he pedido.
Aleluya. Eso es lo que hace el Señor. Eso es lo que hace el Señor. Si usted se lo permite, Dios lo puede hacer.